Right now, a plane crash in South Korea leaves nearly 50 dead. What we know so far. Also celebrating Kwanzaa in Madison. We're taking a look at the way our community is uniting during the holidays. And we're following the new year with it coming around the corner and hear from Madisonians on what New Year's resolutions they hope to stick to. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. At least 47 people are dead after a plane crash in South Korea at their Muan International Airport. According to Yonhap News, the agency, the accident occurred as the Jeju airplane carrying 175 passengers and 6 crew on a flight from the Thai capital in Bangkok was landing at the airport in the south of the country. 2 people were found alive and rescue operations were still underway, a Muan fire official said. Official could not confirm, but reports are that 47 people are dead. Now let's get a look at your first warned forecast. Meteorologist Blaze Keller joins us from the weather patio. Blaze.
Yeah, we got a little bit of fog to contend with once again as we go overnight into Sunday. We posted it on Facebook, but there's been an update. More counties have been added to the dense fog advisory now through noon for most of central and southern Wisconsin. So that fog is being pesky, to say the least. There's a look at who's underneath those advisories. And again, you can always get updates on alerts, whether they're issued or not, just to see if you're underneath an alert by going to our First Warned Weather app. If you click those 3 vertical bubbles there, or the circles, and you scroll over to alert, you can see what has been issued for where you live. Less than a mile visibility, Platteville, Boscobel, Prairie du Chien, Viroqua, all the way back north and east into the Dells, even further into Watoma, kind of hugging the Wisconsin River. But we do find another pocket of some dense fog stretching from really all of Walworth County back west into Greene County as well. Additionally, with the fog wrapping up around noon on Sunday, we're going to be dealing with some rain, especially further to the east. Future track keeping that really to the east of Dane County, maybe some drizzle there just slightly west, but I would say folks in Iowa County, Lafayette County westward, we're probably just going to be dealing with mostly cloudy conditions and maybe some light drizzle. Further east, you're going to have that better chance for more drizzle and light rain, and then along the Lake Michigan shoreline, more of that light to moderate rainfall. 30s tonight, another mild night across southern Wisconsin. We are going to track out what lies ahead for your New Year's Eve celebration. And of course, we're going to continue to track that cool down that arrives next year in just a few minutes.
Sounds good, Blaze. We'll see you then. The Dane County Traffic Safety Commission is urging motorists to drive sober or get pulled over. So far this year in Dane County, 16 people have died and 256 were injured in impaired driving crashes. Over the last 5 years, there were nearly 1,100 impaired driving crashes, resulting in 74 deaths and over 1,300 injuries.
Let that sink in. That's leaving empty chairs for families, holidays, birthday celebrations, and times together. And that's because of alcohol and drug-related crashes in our community.
Police say if you plan to celebrate New Year's, to identify a sober designated driver, contact a family member, or call a taxi or rideshare service. If you do suspect a driver is impaired, you should call 911 and provide as much detail as possible about the driver, vehicle, and location. The Dunn County Sheriff's Office in northwestern Wisconsin is mourning the loss of Correctional Officer Jeff Reynolds, who served 17 years. Reynolds was killed early Christmas Eve when a suspected drunk driver ran a stop sign and hit his vehicle on Highway 12. The driver is being charged with homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle and is being held on a $75,000 bond. The Wisconsin State Patrol is investigating the crash. Officer Reynolds is remembered as a valued member of the police department. Now, we're just a few days from welcoming in 2025 and saying goodbye to 2024. And with every new year comes New Year's resolutions. So News 3 caught up with some Madisonians on what their resolutions are heading into the next year.
I want to read more. I want to go to the gym. I know everyone says that, but I want to go to the gym.
I think I'm going to try read some more books.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Yeah. I've got to learn how to speak more Hawaiian.
I need to study places other than my room, so I'm going to get out of there and study at like the library or anywhere else but my room.
Just embracing things, new opportunities, get out there and smile more, brotherhood, just less badgering, even if you're around UWIS.
I think my resolution is going to be learning how to play the piano for 2025. All right, well, today families gathered at Madison's Children's Museum to celebrate Kwanzaa. Drummers that play traditional West African music help the community learn more about the holiday. Our Tanasia Shaw is showing us how people are celebrating the holiday.
Music, singing, and unity, all on full display to celebrate Kwanzaa at Madison's Children's Museum Saturday.
Kwanzaa is a holiday that uplifts and celebrates all staples in African cultures, like drumming.
Kwanzaa is a celebration for the African American community, but also for our whole community here. The children, adults that come here, we want to reflect the diversity of our community in this museum.
Atimevu uses drums to celebrate Ghanaian culture throughout the year.
All these drums are from Ghana.
The group performs throughout the state, and for the second time, they're using music to practice umoja. That's the first principle of Kwanzaa, and in Swahili, the word means unity.
And when we're doing drumming here, that really is an expression of that unity, playing together. If we all played at a different time, it would just sound like noise or chaos. But when we all play together at the same time with unity, it sounds nice, and it is nice.
They also said seeing people come together to acknowledge and honor African culture is uplifting.
I was actually originally from the University of Ghana, so I was training the foreigners when they come from all over the world. I was a drum instructor there, and I came to America through that job. I don't want to forget anything because that's my culture, and I'm so happy representing my culture.
Reporting in Madison, Tanasia Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanasia, thank you. Madison Children's Museum also had a traditional basket weaving class for the event. And coming up after the break, Blaze Keller is back with a complete look of your First One forecast. Plus, weather throughout the country is ravaging parts. We show you where. And the next time you order fries and a shake at a drive-thru, it may not be a human on the other side. See how AI is entering the fast food world.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Thank you for staying with us. CBS's Katie Weiss is in Alexandria, Louisiana, about 3 hours northwest of New Orleans, where that part of the state is seeing some pretty severe weather. She's in the bullseye of the storm and shows us what's going on.
An outbreak of tornadoes is tearing through the south tonight.
That's just crazy. You can see some debris just flying around.
The severe weather thundering across Texas, pounding areas with high winds and large hail. Omar Godoy watched a tornado barrel towards his Houston home.
And we just started seeing debris just turning, and then out of nowhere you just see the funnel just come down and just touch ground.
Oh my God! This new round of powerful storms comes after more than 24 reported tornadoes struck communities in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama since Christmas Day, damaging homes and other buildings and downing power lines.
That's all you hope for, all the neighbors and families being okay, especially around this time of the year. It's scary, but we survive.
And the danger is escalating, especially with the heavy rainfall that's expected to pummel the region, which could lead to a lot of flash flooding. Katie Weiss, CBS News, Alexandria, Louisiana.
Hopefully everybody down there is doing better. All right, let's get a look at your first one forecast. Blaze Keller joins us now. Blaze.
Yeah, and you know, that same system is actually going to be weakening as it moves into the Midwest going into the overnight hours, and will be bringing at least eastern parts of Wisconsin the chance for rain on Sunday. And then we're going to continue to track a system moving through around the daytime hours on New Year's Eve. While we don't look to see any real snow out of that system, behind it really is the change. Our weather pattern goes from mild to cold, if not well below average for this time of year. We'll talk about that in just a moment. So a low pressure system moved through earlier today and even last night, and that has since weakened and pushed off into parts of Canada to make room for the system that's currently bringing severe weather, or did bring severe weather, to parts of the South, the Gulf Coast earlier today. That's this system right here. It will continue to bring that chance for rain, maybe a rain-snow mix for folks, I would say east of really Dane County. Further to the west as we go throughout your Sunday, probably just going to stay mostly cloudy, maybe some light drizzle, but more of that rain chance is going to be further to the east because you're closer to the center of that low pressure system. As that low pulls away, we make room for yet another low pressure system. This is the one that we've been talking about, kind of first warned you about it a few weeks ago. Maybe going to move through, bringing us some snow around New Year's Eve. That's what it was looking like a few weeks ago. Now it continues to stay well off to our south. Maybe bringing some light snow flurries, maybe a dusting, maybe slightly more than that. Less than an inch though as we go throughout the daytime hours on Tuesday, which is New Year's Eve. But overnight into your New Year's Day, we are expecting quiet conditions. Some lingering flurries may be possible for early celebrations, but around 10 o'clock onwards through the midnight hour into those early morning hours on your New Year's Day, we are expecting to just remain mostly cloudy with maybe some slightly breezy conditions. Beyond that, that system really opens up the weather pattern change, allows that cooler air over Canada and the Arctic to move south. We're sitting at about a 60 to 70% chance of cooler than average temperatures for the next 6 to 10 days, which is essentially our extended forecast. And that trend of cooler than average temperatures continues up through January 11th. The further you go out with models, the more kind of fun they like to have. But we like to look at trends. Do the same things continue to pop up between model runs? Do we see the same systems? Do they go away? Do we see the cooler air sticking around? Or does that go away? The cooler air hasn't gone away. And you can actually see it coming down as we go into your New Year's Day. There's our system right here, bringing down that cooler air marked by the lighter blues and even the whites. As that passes on through, a series of high pressure systems look to move in and kind of reinforce that cooler air. Now we're getting to that 8 to 14 day time frame, and that's when the real cold wants to move on down. Will it happen? We'll just have to wait and see as we get closer to that time frame. January, I would say 7th through about the 9th. But in the more immediate future, beginning New Year's Day through at least that following weekend, we'll probably be about a few degrees to about 10 degrees cooler than average during the day. So enjoy the warmth while it's here. 30s and 40s tomorrow. There is a look at your 7 and 10 day forecast. As I mentioned, ringing in the new year, we do look to be quiet. And the next few days after that, cooler with some flurries returning by that first weekend of 2025. And then again, the 16 and the 10 there, that's kind of fantasy land where the models really want to bring down that cooler air. And of course, we'll track that out if we're going to be feeling like the Arctic again.
Yeah, no, the next couple days it's time to break out the shorts because the following
You're going to put them away.
Yeah, I'm going to put them away for some time.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. Now, depending on where you live, you're going to need some quarters to do some shopping. Aldi is expanding. The discount grocery store chain has announced it will be opening 17 new stores across 9 states. Those states are Alabama, Florida, Missouri, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Wisconsin. However, it's unclear when the stores will actually open. Aldi has previously announced that it plans to open up 800 new stores in the U.S. by the end of 2028. Once all those stores open, the German grocer says it'll be operating roughly 3,200 stores across the nation. It's the most wonderful time of the year for retailers. Total U.S. retail spending grew by 3.8% this year compared to last. That's according to preliminary data from MasterCard. And it's no surprise that shoppers took advantage of the online deals. They found clicking their way to 6.7% of year-over-year e-commerce growth. But it might not be all good news. Economists believe this kind of consumer spending could be a warning sign for things to come.
We are overdue by historical standards for a recession, and the kind of behavior you're seeing now is often the kind of behavior you see when you're at the top of a market cycle.
Financial experts recommend consumers pay down their debt and locking in lower interest rates as we head into 2025. Now, Big Lots says it has struck a deal that would keep hundreds of stores open. Big Lots recently announced it was preparing to close its remaining 963 stores after a previous deal fell through. But on Friday, the discount chain announced a new deal with another buyer. Under the proposed agreement, all of Big Lots assets, including stores and distribution centers, will be sold to other retailers and companies. One of those companies is Variety Wholesalers, which will acquire at least 200 stores and 2 distribution centers. Variety Wholesaler says the stores will operate under the Big Lots brand, and it may employ the employees that work there. Now, the next time you hear, "Do you want fries with that?" at the fast food drive-thru, consider the source. Is it the cashier talking or AI? CBS's Danya Backus explains.
In a world where convenience is king,
would you like to add nacho fries to your order?
Fast food chain Taco Bell is turning to artificial intelligence to meet the demand of its drive-thru customers.
What can I get for you?
Number 13. Implementing voice AI at more than 300 locations, including the one we visited in Irvine, California.
Does the order look accurate on the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Nationwide, just 4% of drive-thrus use the technology.
We've built it to be very friendly and interactive, as if you are talking to a human.
AI is said to cut the wait for an order by 29 seconds and improve accuracy.
I tried switching things up on how I wanted my burrito or my nachos made. They caught it within a matter of seconds.
Taco Bell says its robots help employees by handling the repetitive tasks.
This isn't about technology trying to replace our team members. It's actually how can technology create an even better human experience.
Other fast food giants have struggled with adopting AI.
Where did the butter come from? I would just like a large water and a cup of ice cream.
McDonald's recently scrapped its nearly 3-year test run after incorrect orders and viral customer complaints.
For some reason, she took the Diet Coke off and made it 9 sweet teas.
To avoid similar pitfalls, Taco Bell is pushing to make sure its voice technology works correctly, so employees don't have to fix botched orders.
Does having AI make your job easier?
Yes, it is.
In what way?
It's like an extra person on the store all the time for you. AI is never gonna call off on you.
Customers seem to be coming around too.
It takes away moods. It takes away people that have been stressed out all day. I think it's a great idea.
An idea Taco Bell is hoping will allow customers to do as its slogan says, live Moss. Danya Backus, CBS News, Irvine, California.
And coming up in sports, Wisconsin men's hockey facing off with Fair State at Fiserv Forum. And here's the highlights next in sports.
Most people would agree, myself included, that the state of Wisconsin deserves a professional hockey team. But since we don't have one, I say it's incredibly cool that the Badgers are playing in Milwaukee this weekend. It's the Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off at Fiserv. The Badgers showed the state how it's done. First period, Quinn Finley doing the magic, deking out the goaltender. He had a couple goals on the night, number 19 setting the stage. Wisconsin scored a whole lot of goals between now and then. Final seconds of the game, up 7-0, and Kyle Kukanon scores his second goal of the night. The Badgers leave no question about this one at Fiserv, 8-0, the final. Since November the 11th, the Bucks are 14-5, and it's fair to say they've salvaged the season. They played the Bulls tonight in Chicago, but did it without Giannis. In better news, though, Damian Lillard returned to action after a 4-game absence. Let's jump right to the finish line. Tied at 106 with a minute and a half to go. Chris Middleton stepping up in the Greek Freak's absence. He had 21 points on the night. Gives the Bucks the 2-point lead, and then a minute later, up 2, about a minute left, and Josh Giddey hits the corner 3. It would put Chicago up, and they would never look back. The Bulls win it, 116-111. The Wisconsin women are 10-2 to start the season, hoping that strong start keeps going in Big Ten play. Indiana in the first quarter had a 20-2 run of scoring. Sarah Williams stops that right away. She gets her own rebound and gets the bucket to go. And then later, the Badgers creating a run of their own. Ronnie Porter gets the three to go. Wisconsin ended the first period on a 14-0 run, but Indiana was unreal in the second quarter. They outscored the Badgers 21-6 and go on to win it big, 83-52, the final score. High school boys hoops, Oregon bringing in the new year, hosting Verona, and the Panthers pounced early. Von Carvalho, the 6'6 junior, went full-on Vince Carter. Mason Hoffer puts it on a platter, and the big man, he throws it down. Carvalho turned this thing into a 1990s NBA dunk contest. Mid-game, Carvalho with the reverse jam. You just don't see that at the high school level. Oregon hanging in with the 6th-ranked Wildcats for a while, but eventually, Verona willed their way to a win. Great ball movement, and Amari Phillips fills it up. Verona comes out victorious. They win it 73-55. The Packers' offensive line has been one of the best in the entire NFL this season, which is why Josh Jacobs gifted each offensive lineman for Green Bay their very own diamond pendant with Jacobs' number 8 on it. Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs have the line to thank for some of their success that they've enjoyed this season and are thankful for the big guys up front, saying that they'll be a big key to this Sunday's showdown with Minnesota.
I think it's been special how personal they take that. You can see even on any run or even short passes, you see all the guys running and pushing the pile and things like that. And I think that's all mentality, So when you have a group of guys collectively all have that same mentality, it makes guys dangerous. It makes guys scary. So for me, man, I love playing with guys that got that grit and that kind of mentality. So it's been fun.
Jacobs has been, you don't even need to say how big of an ad for the Packers, but one thing he says over and over again is that Green Bay, he chose them because he sees the way that things are done in Green Bay, sees the professionalism, the way guys work, and he's now seeing it firsthand and bearing the fruits of it. An unreal first year for number 8.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a guy that came from Alabama, the Crimson Tide, that program being one of the premier organizations in all of North American sports over the last 15 years or so. So I'm sure he saw a lot of that in Green Bay after coming from, what were they, the Oakland Raiders when he first got there, then the Las Vegas Raiders. So match made in heaven. He stayed healthy, which is something they struggled with the last few years with Aaron Jones. And again, you talked about the fruits of labor. They're showing up as, he's 3rd in the league in rushing right now?
Yeah, I believe so. 3rd or 4th, one of the two. Unreal year for number 8. And he may just be the difference maker the Pack need in the postseason that is coming up soon. That one tomorrow is going to be big, though.
Absolutely. And hopefully he can get things rolling because he's on my fantasy team. Sounds good. Thank you, Andrew. We'll be back with more after this. All right, Blaze, it's been pretty warm today. What should we expect tomorrow?
Dense fog is going to be sticking around through at least noon tomorrow. Dense fog advisory for nearly all of our coverage area, if not all of our coverage area, through noon tomorrow. And there's a look at your 10-day forecast. Quiet ringing in the new year.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze, and thank you, Andrew, and thank you all for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow.